Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about Falling Skies Season 3, the premiere being tonight, with a 2-hour premiere double episode on TNT. So it's been a while since I've done a video on Falling Skies, so I decided I would just kind of do a video just because there's a lot of people that were subscribed to my channel last year that are still subscribed, and they recommended that I check out the series on TNT called Falling Skies. Basically, the premise of the series is you have an alien invasion, and we have a group called the Second Mass, which has quite a few interesting characters in it that are basically trying to just survive, and then even to the point where they're able to fight back a little bit against the alien invaders. And at this point, essentially, is the beginning of season 3. So I just kind of wanted to do a video letting you guys know on where I'm at with the show, what I think about the show, and since season 3 is starting tonight, it makes sense to do so. So I finally caught back up on it last week. I watched up to the end of season 2 of the series, and I won't spoil too much for anybody in terms of what happens or anything, because I know a lot of people on my channel follow for The Walking Dead and other TV shows like that. So I don't ruin anything for anybody, but basically the whole overlying events of what happens are basically in season 1. You have probably the most exciting parts of the series, I think, so far from what we've seen, in that we're just getting to know our characters. We are just getting to know a few other groups of survivors that are out there. We're getting to know a little bit about the aliens. There are different types. You have skitters, which are like these kind of like insect looking aliens that have a bunch of legs like spiders and can climb up walls and can jump down and can are very strong, can rip you in half, and things of this nature. Then you have other types of aliens like these overlords, which are sort of like your grays, but they're really tall and really long, even more so than your gray alien types. And some really cool scenes in season 1, like one where I remember in particular where a character is looking through a peephole and you see a gray or an overlord, and it comes up to the people, and it's kind of like looking around and looking through like that, which is pretty cool to see. If you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And then into season 2, essentially at the end of season 1, they start to sort of fight back against them. Season 2, kind of some interesting new elements with some of the experiments aliens do to some of the people they capture. You have certain characters that will be harnessed. So like young kids and things like that will be harnessed, and essentially the aliens will control them and use them for tasks such as building things or working on things or doing things of the sort, kind of like mind control. Then you have others like our main character, our protagonist, Tom, who is taken aboard a shuttle and then released, and they implant a like little it's sort of like a bug, like a fly or something, in his eyeball, and then it's supposed to do like a reconnaissance and go back to the overlords to tell them where exactly this second mass group is, sort of as like an infiltration type of technique. Instead of just killing them, they use them. So they use the people they capture a lot of times for different tasks and things like that, which is pretty exciting. And it does have some elements of like an apocalypse, because it is kind of somewhat similar to, like, The Walking Dead. You have a group of survivors in a zombie apocalypse. Well, in this you have, an alien invasion apocalypse type scenario. The environments look great. Everything looks really cool. It's really well done in terms of that. The writing is pretty good. I will say, though, that you can tell by the ratings at the end of season 2, they started to drop a little bit, because I think the show has kind of, at this stage, we'll see where it goes with season 3, but at this stage, it's kind of lost a direction. They get to Charleston, which is an area where you have an even bigger group of survivors, and a lot of it's military, which is another cool take to see in an apocalypse type scenario. Something we never got to see in The Walking Dead or any zombie apocalypse movies, really, from what I can remember, is like a really strong military presence where you have a lot of fighters, military characters, and personnel that still behave in organized military type fashion, in which in Falling Skies you do get to see that, which is kind of cool to see them actually use their weaponry and fight back against the aliens, which is kind of cool. Now, where it kind of starts to lose me a little bit is near the end of season 2, which I don't hate or anything. I think it was pretty good. It was okay. But there's like a new type of aliens that have just shown up. And at this point, for season 3, the beginning for tonight, we don't know if they are, good aliens, and or if they're being controlled by the Overlord still, or what the case may be with them, which is a little bit kind of, I don't know. It's out there. A lot of the concepts are really out there, and I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't make sense for the series, because obviously, for a alien invasion series, you can pretty much do anything. You can do implants, you can do harness kids, you can do all these different types of things, because these are all within that alien sort of genre, and what they, abductions and things like that. So it is a pretty cool show. I wouldn't say it's bad by any means or anything. If I had to rate the show so far overall, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's good. It's fun. It's got lots of great elements as we go through. Some really interesting characters like Pope and Weaver, who is sort of like their leader. It's interesting to see a series like this, where the protagonist is not actually like the leader of the group he's in. We're so used to seeing in The Walking Dead, like, Rick's the leader. He's always the leader. In this, Tom, the protagonist, has a family and everything like that, so he's a family man. A really tough-as-nails type guy. But he's not intellectual as well. But he's not the leader of their group, which is kind of interesting. So I am going to check out definitely the premiere tonight for season 3. I'm not going to say that I'm going to review it or anything like that necessarily, because I don't want to hold to that. Last year I did a couple of reviews for the first 2 episodes, and it went okay. But I don't know. It's not one of those huge shows like The Walking Dead is now. Granted, when I first started doing Walking Dead reviews, it wasn't very big either. But this show typically, I think, gets around somewhere around 3 or 4 or 5 million views per episode on TNT. But not a lot of people are really into it to the point where they'll go look it up online. So I don't know if there's enough people there for me to do reviews for it. I may try it, but definitely tonight, the finale of Game of Thrones is on. So I got to do that to troll the Game of Thrones heads who keep telling me not to review it. If a troll tells me not to do something, that means I have to do it even more. Because if I stop doing it, then it's like I'm listening to the troll. I can't do that. So nobody use reverse psychology. I mean, troll me for this and tell me, because then I would have to. You know what I'm saying. So anyway, Falling Skies is a cool show. If you like aliens, if you like, apocalypse type stories and things like that, I like it because we get to see it over a long term. Again, that whole Walking Dead strategy, which is a zombie apocalypse movie, is fun, but seeing it over the long term, you get to see some really good progression. And Falling Skies is a really cool show because it's like that with aliens. You get to see characters over a long term. Some survive, some get turned to the alien side, get harnessed, some get experimented on, others get, killed in the, as part of it. There's character deaths. The only thing with this show is that there aren't too many characters, I would say, that are very well developed. We have a few key ones and some cool reveals at the end of season 2, which I don't want to spoil for anybody. And, the family and everything that's tight with Tom and that nurse, veterinarian lady that he's hooked up with and everything is really great stuff. Same with Weaver, too, another great character. But aside from that, we haven't really developed too many of the others. So sometimes when characters get killed off, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, depending. Sometimes. So anyway, I think I've gone on for long enough about Falling Skies. If any of you guys have checked the show out, please let me know what you think about it. If you've never seen it, you can watch it on Couch Tuner if you want to go check it out, or TNT Tonight. I wouldn't say you absolutely have to watch it from the beginning. You may be lost on some things, but you'll still probably get to enjoy it. There is some good action. The CG is not bad. The environments look beautiful. The character development's not too bad. The plot is pretty good, even though sometimes it's out there with some of the elements. But, I mean, it's an alien invasion show. How could it not be? How could it feel grounded? It's aliens. It doesn't really make sense, So anyway, let me know what you guys think about the series. Have you seen it? If you haven't, interested to check it out. If you haven't, if you have, what you think about it. Anyway, I'll call it here. And also, if you'd like to see me do reviews for some of the season 3 episodes as well, please let me know, because it will greatly affect whether or not I start to review it, because now there'll be a gap with no show on. Now that Game of Thrones is over and I've done trolling that first season, I don't have anything else to really review at the moment until Under the Dome starts in a few weeks. So please let me know if you guys want to see me do reviews for it, and I'll take it into consideration. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.